And we're live. Tuesday Night Live. Last Tuesday Night Live of the year. Corey Hall was the first one here. He said show tonight on YouTube. Corey, are you the one? Someone has been commenting on past live shows on YouTube, and they're like, "Man, I just discovered the show. I'm hoping to be there Tuesday." Corey, I hope that was you. If not, I hope it's another one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mike, as I was hitting the button to go live, I was trying to read your shirt. What are you wearing?
Oh, it says Griswold. Griswold's established 1989.
Oh, it's a Christmas vacation shirt.
Yeah, it says squirrel removal and it says get the hammer.
I figured you would be wearing like a Santa Claus hat or something like that. Last show of 2023. Next Tuesday I'll be gone. We'll all be busy with Christmas stuff. We might do one. Oh no, the one after that would be January.
Yep.
Yeah, so last show of 2023. Scott Butler's here for the season yearly wrap up. I think this has been the year out of all 3 years that we've been on Eastern Outdoors, the year that we've had the most live shows, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, we have not missed many Tuesdays. I'll tell you that.
We've been here every Tuesday for the most part. Maybe during the summer we take a break here and there because everybody's busy. But we're so glad you're here. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Man, we have a lot of people that's been with us the whole year. I love that.
It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely love it.
Great community.
So I figured tonight we would just kind of reminisce, man. What's some of the top stories? Maybe not just top stories of the year, but top stories since we've started doing this. And then talk a little. A lot of people still haven't killed their target buck. What can they do to get on? To get a buck down between now and the end of the season? We know, Mike, that between Christmas and New Year's, there's always big bucks that are killed. Mm-hmm. And so, what's a good strategy there? Josh, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, in the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds, as I've been sharing this live, I've been thinking. So before we went live, me and John was having a friendly debate.
Uh-oh, hold on. This person just killed their target buck today. I don't know who it is. It says Facebook user, but we're so happy for you. Let us know. Send us a picture. We want to share it. Send me a picture on Facebook, and we'll share it. There you go. Christmas buck.
Congratulations.
Heck yeah. But me and John was having a little friendly debate, and he brought up that we killed the same amount of deer this year. So, Mike, I'm going deer hunting Saturday.
Nice.
I was just thinking today, one more deer so I can outdo my brother.
Well, that's fine. I mean, this is not against anyone else.
No, don't say it. It is against everyone.
It's not. It's not against anyone else. But listen, Josh, you go set up over your antler builder where you have a cell camera and where you know that deer are coming in every day, and go kill 2 or 3.
That judgment. Hey, but here's the question, right? Where was your deer killed this year?
Oh, over corn, of course.
Okay, it was over corn, right? So my buck was killed over corn, but can you remind me where that button buck was killed?
Oh, with your crossbow?
Peabody WMA.
With your crossbow.
Yeah. Public land. Yeah. I don't hear John killing any public land on this year.
Jimmy, come on. Jimmy Carroll. No, it does not, Jim.
I'm shaving it tonight. Finally, someone gave me the excuse, because the one thing he's always been smarter than me, but one, I'm a better deer hunter and I'm way more handsome than him. So I'm shaving tonight.
He's never been better looking.
That's all.
We can compare that. He's never been better looking. Mike, you don't have a brother.
I don't. I got a bunch of.
Me and John, who's the better looking guy?
Hey, I'm staying out of that debate.
Mike,
I'm staying out about. Hey, listen. With my cousins and stuff, it feels like I got a ton of brothers. We're so close and hunting together, and you guys are ate up.
That's James Evans says Dad got his first buck this season on our new property, and to top it off, it was our number one buck we wanted to take this season. Send us pictures, James.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, James, you sent that one to me. I appreciate you sharing that. That was a good buck, man. Real good buck. Congratulations to your dad.
Hey, Scott Butler said that I need a shave. It's been 2 months. I'm going 4 more months without shaving. 6 months just to see how long I can get it. I'm not.
Yeah, this is gonna be unbearable.
I'm not trimming it. Nothing. I don't care. I've shaved every day for 10 years. I'm not 6 months minimum.
Whew,
Connie
Lord.
already hates it. She hates it.
My goodness.
Oh gosh.
In all seriousness, I am going to. I was just thinking today about trying to take Ellis youth weekend. Hopefully that'll work out. My plan was to go back to Fort Knox and archery hunt sometime over the last 2 weeks, and both my girls have been so sick. I was sick for a couple of days, but they've been just terrible, and they've really ruined my plans, man. I say it like every week. It's hard to be a good deer hunter with kids.
It's
hard to be,
tough, man. You got to balance it, don't you?
I will say that before I had this private land to hunt, it was much harder to go hunt public 45 minutes away. Much harder. So, dude, having the private land 10 minutes from here makes life so much easier. So much easier.
Yeah, I keep getting messages. Jim said that was amazing piebald deer you posted today. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I got it. Here's why I posted that, Jim. We post a lot of piebald bucks because I just think they're cool. But also, there's been some controversy surrounding piebald bucks, and honestly, if you saw my Facebook stories today on our page, I said, what are some of the biggest stories of 2023 that we can maybe look back on? We can review, talk about it. And the piebald buck with the man that Corey Harris that killed the piebald buck in Letcher County, Kentucky, that he had some charges brought against him for Fish and Wildlife. And if you want an update on that, they had the arraignment and the pretrial. Says John is lagging. I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I kept watching Mike and you, and you're lagging pretty bad.
A little bit, just here and there.
You can hear you fine though.
Let me close out any windows I got up. I have an email up. How am I now?
So far, good.
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, so they have I think it's pre-trial in February. So looks like those charges were not dropped, unfortunately. Do you think they will stop beating next year because of the CWD? Oh, baiting. I think just in that one county and the county surrounding it. I don't think it's going to affect the rest of the state.
It won't right now. No.
Like I'm lagging like Halo in 2005. That's the difference.
Just it's like every minute or so, all of a sudden you'll freeze up, but we can still hear you talking.
Yeah, you're
still. Am I still doing that?
Yeah, it's like you sit still for a second and then you go.
Okay, I might have to log out and back in. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
Facebook user said he just sent you a message, John, with his target buck that he got today.
Okay.
He or she, I honestly don't.
I saw that Gordy got a doe on his park hunt that he got to go on. That's a good job, Gordy. Way to go!
I'm super happy for him, man. He's I think that was his second or third trip that they went camping out and getting after it. So I'm happy he got one. Now if in Ohio, excuse me, but if I'm not mistaken, now he can hunt a buck, right? Is that the way it works?
I think so. Yeah. I noticed he said that on one of his posts one time, that now he can get after that buck.
Yeah.
What's your all's plans for the last few weeks of the hunting season, targeting food and bedding areas? Yeah, I'd say that's probably something I'll be doing. I'll be doe hunting, so I'm going to be probably looking for food. We have a clover field on my uncle's property. I'll probably hunt around those. We had so many acorns this year too. I would imagine if there's any that aren't rotten or anything like that, and they're still palatable, that's something that you could find deer still kind of picking on too, depending on where you're at. And then we have a lot of bedding on our place, but it's probably more temporary bedding. It's not a bedding area, bedding areas that they probably spend a lot of their time. They're probably hit or miss type spots, but we also have a cornfield too. And I'm mainly getting nighttime photos on there. So I don't know that I would sit there personally, but maybe somewhere that leads into that cornfield might be a potential spot.
Yeah, I saw today talking about it. I think it was from, I don't remember exactly who posted it. It was one of the big deer organizations. It was either National Deer Association, deer hunting, something like that. And they talked about red oaks. If you're hunting late season, red oaks are going to be a main food source for a lot of deer. So,
do you know why?
The lactic acid.
Yeah, it takes
it.
So those are. That's why they start with the white oaks early. The white oaks have the least amount of acid in that flavor and just the way the palatability is for deer. Those white oaks are more nutritional early on, so they hit those first, and then as those red oaks sit on the ground for a little bit, they lose that acidity. I think that's the word, but
acidity.
Yeah. So sorry, acidity. They lose that a little bit because they've been sitting for a little bit. So that's why those red oaks become a little bit more of an attractant.
Do you know that, Josh?
Listen, I stopped listening at acidity.
At 74, I passed up deer, and first time in a lot of years, tag soup. Glad seeing family take deer 2024. Granddaughter will be in camp. Josh Wilson says, I'll be deer hunting tomorrow morning, but bringing my 410 for squirrels too should be fun. Mm-hmm. So if you do that, let's say you go deer hunting, obviously you're archery hunting, and you take your 410. How late do you wait before you actually shoot a squirrel? Like, you don't want to shoot a squirrel at 7:30. Your deer hunt's over. How late are you waiting till you shoot a squirrel, Josh? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
What would you do, Mike, if you're going to do that? Maybe 10?
I've always been like, I see people like where they shoot groundhogs or they shoot raccoons or they shoot while they're deer hunting. But like, I'm always too freaked out that I'm just going to absolutely screw up my deer hunt. So I never do anything that would screw up my deer hunt if I'm on a deer hunt. I know that's really weird sounding, but if I'm there and I know I'm deer hunting, I probably won't do anything else because I don't want to screw up my deer hunt. But it's late season, so I totally get it. So if like you were out there and I saw, I'm ready to get rid of some squirrels too in my little deer hunting spot. So if I was out there and it got to be about 8 o'clock and I was seeing a slew of squirrels, I'd probably put my bow down and pick up the 22 or the 410 and start plunking.
Or just shoot it with your bow.
Could do that too.
Yeah, I kind of got a system. So I'll hunt till like 9 or 10 o'clock. If I've not seen nothing, my lunch comes out a little early. And then I'm on my phone for a while. And then if I've not seen something by like noon and I'm bored, I'll let them have it.
Bub said, I actually don't that. I don't know what he's talking about.
I didn't know if he meant to say he didn't know that about the acorns.
Oh, about the acorns. I actually didn't know that. Yeah.
I actually read a story about it. Was about 2 years ago. I read a story about that, the palatability of different acorns.
I think it was their very first year, Mike. I think it was 2020.
Was it really?
I was thinking about that. That's how I knew about the lactic acid. Josh says he'll wait till 9:30 or 10 most of the time unless I know I can limit out on squirrels. Then I'll put my bow down and try to bag my 6 from. I think Josh has already killed a buck this year. Has he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Josh, you did get a buck this year, didn't you?
I think he's killed one. So yeah, go for it.
It was a very nice buck. Yeah.
Chris said, I got a sleep test scheduled for January 31st. I'm scared too, but hope to get off some of my blood pressure meds though. There you go, Chris.
Yeah. A little bit about that. Actually, it's a bunch of dudes watching right now. Really important to get that done. If you know you've got sleep apnea issues, I do. I'm literally sitting right next to my machine. You guys have seen me use my machine just on our camping trips and stuff. Really big deal to use that thing. Don't be afraid to do that test. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna lie.
Get your colonoscopies.
Yeah, absolutely, all that stuff. But like, here's the mask that I have to wear.
I've not had one.
So like, literally, it goes over my face like this, and it sucks. It's not fun.
Mike, are you sure that's not a cup?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cup, don't it? It does look like a cup.
Hey, it looks like your size, Mike.
Hey, I'll say this. I've got sleep apnea as well. I've got an APAP machine in my bedroom. And I'm going to tell you, if your sleep test is anything like mine was, you will be absolutely miserable that night. I'm just letting you know now. Yeah. You will be absolutely miserable. But it's worth it because sleep apnea is no joke, dude.
And now it'll
literally take years off your life.
Out of the 3 of us, I have the least severe case of sleep apnea. I'm pretty proud of that.
It's so just Chris, one of the things I'd say.
Josh dies. Josh literally dies every night.
Yep. I have a pretty rough time. I stop breathing a lot.
When we stay in the same place, he's snoring very loudly. and all of a sudden he just quits breathing for like. Sometimes I get
Yeah,
worried.
you do.
Sometimes I just laugh.
Dude, I got
This
so
is it.
mad. Last year we went to the Bassmaster Classic. We got up early. I think we went down to the boat ramp, talked to the fishermen, went to Chick-fil-A, got some breakfast, and went back to where we was staying. And I dozed off on the couch, and I guess I stopped breathing. And John, he goes, Josh. And I jumped up real quick, and I was like, what, dude? He's like, you quit breathing. Go to bed. And I got so mad that he woke me up. I was sleeping.
Really though, I didn't care about him stopping breathing. It was just so loud and annoying.
Yeah, it's bad stuff, man. You definitely want to get that checked out. But hey, if you have the option, Chris, I know sometimes you got to go for like 2 or 3 nights. I don't know if in your situation you do, but I actually went through Quest Diagnostics and they sent me.
That's what I did too.
They sent me a little machine that I hooked up at home. So I did it for 3 nights in a row at home. And then I sent it back to Quest Diagnostics. And then they told me that I had, they were seeing that I had some issues. So that's when I contacted my doctor. And basically that test gave me everything that I needed to know about that. And it basically told me that I think I stopped breathing for about 27 times an hour. And they actually said that my case was. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. I'm getting coffee from my daughter here, so that's good. But anyway, so it helped me out a lot. I ended up going to the sleep test place one night instead of the 2 or the 3 because I already did that pre-test with Quest Diagnostics. But that pre-test, I was just there one night. Then they really were just having me hooked up with all these wires, just with one mask over my face. So. They just kind of they'll fit you with a different mask to see what works and what doesn't for you.
The comments are making me laugh, but so is John because he won't stop.
He's watching and smiling every time.
It's not the comments while I'm laughing. But anyway, go.
Why?
I'm not laughing at you, Mike.
Explain.
I'm not laughing at you, Mike.
Why are you laughing?
It's I mean, just nothing.
Is it the
comments? I can't share. I can't share something personal. I can't share.
Jim says it best here. You sleep better and you're better rested. That is no joke. You're going to feel much better, Chris. So yeah, definitely don't worry about it. Nothing to be afraid of. Get after it, and it'll help you out a lot. I promise you.
I was about to say, Scott Butler said, I think I used to stop breathing 73 times a night. Mine was literally, when they did my sleep test, I had like 170 something events while I was sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's massive.
We've already established I'm 6 years older than Josh. He's definitely going to be the first to go in the family.
It's true.
I mean, we literally talked about it yesterday. So he's a ticking time bomb.
It is what it is.
Hey, are you drinking a chocolate milk or a Prime? That's what I thought. Is it good?
I've never bought one because I hate Logan and Jake Paul with passion. I think they're
they're D-bags.
They're posers. They're not the real deal. Even though I will say Logan is a heck of a wrestler. I will say that.
All right, get on with it.
But anyways, I did try these finally, and dude, they're freaking good.
You think they would sponsor the show?
I would say we have about a -6.
Right now, I think we got a good chance of Quest Diagnostics sponsor.
I'd say so. Yeah, that was
get your CPAP machine here.
Users, everybody watching, their favorite thing was, my brother can stop breathing, but he better not be loud.
Well,
actually, I will say, I'm trying to remember what kind of machine I have. I have a BiPAP, so mine is not a CPAP. Mine's a BiPAP, and it's actually pretty quiet. It's not that loud at all.
See here? It can honestly exacerbate heart failure, hypertension, and messes up your general circadian rhythm. Josh, exasperate means make it worse.
Yeah.
Went from hunting. Corey, I'm trying here, bro. From hunting to old man, so I'm trying to pull us back, trying to get us back on track. And I think this will do it.
Hey, Men's Health, man.
Take a look right here.
It's important.
Jeremy Carnes got it done today. Some body of water. Look at that. That's a great photo. Yeah. Great deer. There's a picture, of him, his little boy, the deer. But this picture is the best one out of them all. Look at that.
Is it a Kentucky buck? Yep.
That's a Kentucky boat.
I would almost guess what lake it is, but I don't know if he'd want me to do that.
Yeah, that's a terrific book, man.
I've talked to Jeremy before, but I don't know whereabouts. So yeah, he's got his Hoyt Carbon ZT. It looks like ZT30 or something.
That's a good bow. Hoyt, man.
Yep, that's exactly the person that just said it. That's where I was guessing. And I think that's him.
A 10, got a 10 pointer there. Yeah, nice book. Where somebody sound like somebody knocked on my door and there's nobody here. Let's see. I was sharing messages there. What did he say? Did he say where he shot it?
Somebody said Cumberland, and that's where I was going to guess.
That may be him because he is a Facebook user.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It looked just like it.
Doug says, "Good info, Mike. Mike, the resident sleep apnea expert here.
Sleepologist.
So, sleepologist. Laurel Lake. See, Jeremy, I knew it was Laurel, but I wasn't going to say it. But you said it. So no one can say I burned your spot.
Yeah.
You said it. Jeremy, here's what I want to know, Jeremy. Jeremy killed a nice buck today. If you didn't see it, I just showed it. You can go to Jeremy Carnes's Facebook page and check it out. I'm sure it's on there. I know it is because Bub actually sent me a screenshot of it a while ago. But Jeremy, I want to know how was there anything you used to pattern this buck? Did you have him on camera? Did you just play certain land features? What played into? Did you just get lucky, right? Sometimes on public land, you just get lucky. So he said it's his second buck he's taken there. Maybe he just knows a good area. What drew you to that certain area to hunt there, Jeremy, without giving away the secrets? Let us know. We'd love to hear. Scott Butler says it's been a fun year. Every year is a fun year as long as you keep going, as long as you keep getting more. Let's see.
Trying to we did. There was one before we got into the one topic there. Somebody asked if we mainly public land hunt or private land hunt. I can't remember who that was, so forgive me on that.
Mike and Josh mostly private land hunt, and I'm mostly public land hunt. But I killed both of my deer on private land this year at a buddy's. I do plan to go back to Fort Knox at least 2 days before their season ends to try to get an archery buck. But I also know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be difficult to do, but I'm at least going to put 2 days in there. I don't know if it's going to be probably going to be the week after, like the first week of January is when I'll probably get to go. So Mark Lilly said Scott Butler gets his check 2-3 times a week. I heard. I'm not sure you should do that though. I'm confused on their conversation. Sorry, Mark. Jim says it's crazy weather's made it difficult. So it's been snowing here, right? It snowed here. Mike, I know you guys probably got snow because I think it came from us that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it's been cold. A lady told me today they're supposed to get warm next week, so people aren't going to like that.
Yep.
But I think, if the cold weather brings the deer out, maybe that's what Jeremy waited till it got cold. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I think the last week or so we've had like warm and then it like dropped off and then it's going to get warm again. So I think it's on and off again type deal. We've honestly all the way, you kind of date that back to like when gun season started. That's kind of what it's been doing. It's like super warm and then it gets cold and then it gets super warm and then it gets cold. I think it's kind of been kind of weird this fall.
I hate it.
Yeah. So I was looking earlier, and I was looking back over some stories that we had throughout the year. And one of the biggest stories I think that we've had, and it's not just one, it's been several, is I feel like this year we saw more hunters die while hunting this year.
We heard a lot more about that. Yeah. I
feel like just in our area, there's been more stories about hunters dying that than there has in the years past. And so I just saw on Meat Eater the second hunter, and I want to know if anyone does this. Let me know if you do this. When you climb in a tree stand, like a ladder stand, and it's cold, do you take a space heater, like a propane heater, to the ladder stand with you? Does anyone do that? because I just saw there was another hunter. There's 2 hunters, who have died with a space heater in their ladder stand. I know the first one, I think, essentially caught on fire and he died. I don't know if he died from the fire or from falling out of the stand or what. Don't know.
That was in Pennsylvania, wasn't it?
Not sure. Let's see. So this guy was 76 years old. This guy was actually in a blind. He was not in a tree stand. He was actually in a blind. He went to light the heater. Let's see. After several attempts to ignite the heater, his wife noticed flames around the floor of the blind. She tried to get him out of the blind. I guess she was outside of the blind, but he was 76 and he couldn't move very well. And then he ran out of air and he died.
That's tough.
That is, that's really bad. And then the other one. So, well, this one says both of them were from blinds. I saw one was in a tree stand. Maybe I read it wrong.
No,
or maybe
you didn't.
Am I right? So one of them was in a tree stand?
Yeah, one of them said it was in a tree stand. Maybe what we saw
they
was
read it wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
The other one was a 75-year-old that his heater caught his blind on fire too. So anyway, if you're hunting in the blind with a propane heater, you need to be careful. Seth says he doesn't do that. He just freezes to death and uses some hot hands. Oops. So Mark says he's taking them in the blind. I think that's where 95% of people use them is in a blind. And it's easy. I mean, that material. It's easy to melt that material, catch it on fire. And you think you could get out of there easily, but maybe not.
I know it's easier said than done, just because money doesn't grow on trees. But if you invest in good winter hunting clothes and like Scott said, hot hands. Like I have very, very warm winter clothes. I buy stuff for like Alaska because I hate getting cold. So if you just invest in good clothing, use hot hands and prepare yourself before you go out, like the night before, you'll be all right.
Yep. So this guy, Alan's talking about the guy in Versailles who was killed.
Yeah.
When he approached the buck and it was not dead. And when he went, here's the thing about that story. It's a terrible tragedy.
It is.
I don't know if that buck was laying there. He had his knife out, and from what I can gather, it was like a fixed blade, like a long fixed blade knife. And I don't know if he had his knife out and went to grab like the leg of the buck, and kind of spread it open, and it moved and he stabbed himself, or if he actually grabbed the leg and went to cut the buck, and when he cut the buck, actually stuck the knife on the buck, it moved and cut himself. But he had his knife out, had some kind of interaction with the buck that the blade of the knife ended up in his inner leg and just cut into an artery, man. And it's terrible. Just a terrible way. So those
if you hit an artery, man, you've got very minimal time to stop that bleeding.
Yeah.
So that's seriously, man, that's awful. I couldn't imagine.
Josh says if he's that old, if he's 76 and it's that cold, he's probably not going to be hunting. But I mean, there's 76-year-olds in great shape. But it says he had mobility issues. I don't know. But it just seems like there's been a lot of hunter deaths that we've talked about. The two craziest, other than the guy stabbing himself, accidentally stabbing himself, is we had 2 hunters who died on the same day from self-inflicted gunshot wounds in the same county on the same day, same county, both self-inflicted. That's just like rare.
Yeah.
So that one is that was a crazy story. And I didn't hear anything else about those. That's all I know about them. So
yeah,
it's all terrible. What was you going to say, Josh?
I was going to say, I work with the guy. He's either 72 or 74. He was in Vietnam, and he still 3 days a week runs 5 miles.
Wow.
Still, he is in excellent shape. Excellent shape.
Rob is still looking to fill a doe tag. I'd still like to fill a couple. Mike, are you going to be hunting anymore this year?
Yeah, I'll try to go out a couple more times. In fact, this is definitely on youth weekend. I'd really like to take Caleb out, be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm still so disappointed I didn't get to go any during this last muzzleloader week.
Yeah,
I didn't get to go one time.
I didn't either.
My girls didn't go to school, and I was home with them, and very, very disappointed I didn't get to do that. So,
Yeah.
Kyle Sams is here. He says, no way. I don't know. I guess he's talking about taking a heater to a ladder stand, which I don't understand why he would. Alan says he's had 2 bucks stand up after laying there seemingly dead, stand up after 15 minutes point blank. It ain't fun.
Wow.
Do you worry about the antler drop when hunting this time of year? It's early, but I've seen some people report antlers coming off.
I've seen a few people say it. Yep.
Yep.
I've not seen any on our place. We've gotten a few bucks on camera the last couple nights, and they all have their racks still.
Would you be worried about it, Mike, if you were still hunting a buck?
No, probably not, because I mean taxiderm, if it's one that I would be concerned about getting mounted or something of that nature, taxidermists can put that back together. It's probably not a major deal. I would imagine where it would be a big deal is if you shot it, it ran, it dropped an antler,
fell off as it was running,
or something like that. That would probably really stink. I've never heard of that happening to somebody, but I'm sure it has.
Oh yeah, Josh, could you imagine that 13 pointer? You shot it. It took off running. You never found the other antler.
Dude, I always think like, man, if I shoot one late in the season, I'm gonna have I'm a very paranoid person, and usually like the buck I killed and the buck my son killed. Well, the one my son killed, we used 4-wheeler, but mine, I grabbed it by the antlers and drug it. Dude, I would never touch the antlers because usually I'll just grab it by the antler and start dragging, but I would definitely grab it by the feet because I would be terrified that thing's gonna pop off.
Kyle Sam says he needs one more deer. Got to get forward. Kyle, give us your best late season tactics. If people are still trying to kill a buck, or if they're still trying to kill a doe, whatever they're still trying to kill, give us your best, maybe top 3 late season tactics. If someone's hunting public land or they're going in blind or something like that. So we got some info from Jeremy. Jeremy killed a buck today. He said he's had pics of that buck since October 8th, so over 2 months. With only 3 separate occasions. He dialed in on his travel routes and his windage route. Okay, so he knew where he was coming from and what wind he liked to travel with. He would only travel on my side on a north, northwest, or northeast wind. He was nocturnal all season and wouldn't travel far because his bedding area was super thick, but it all led to multiple oak flats. Super hard area to get into without being busted. I've hunted long and hard since the last week of October and finally got it done. Shot him at 925. The amount of mature bucks and does in. So I didn't finish it. It cuts it off after a minute.
That's awesome.
I got a question. I see a lot of people saying doe, singular, like the amount of doe. Do you say doe or does? And which one's correct? I want to know. Let's not. You guys don't answer yet. Do you guys say, obviously the word deer is both singular and plural. Deer could be 1 deer. Deer could be 1,000 deer. Bucks, we always add an S to it. It's a buck, 1 buck, or it's bucks for multiple bucks. But does is the one. I say does. If there's more than 1 doe, I call them does. Like does, D-O-E-S, does. But I see a lot of people just say doe. So I want to know what everyone else does. Do you call them doe or does? Josh, what do you say?
Does all day.
Does with an S. Mike?
Does.
Does. See, Heartland Hunter. 2 bucks, 2 doe. Corey Hall says does, but I type doe. Okay, he's a little tricky there, Corey. Gordy says does. Jeremy says doe. Uh-oh, they're getting ahead of me. This guy says doe. Road goats, Alan says. He's just into trapping. I don't think he cares about deer. Let's see. Scott says does. Does for me, but Morgan say I can't spell or talk. But the way you're typing tonight, I agree with her. Just don't call her your girlfriend when she's your fiance. The reason he said, remember Morgan said the reason he called her his girlfriend, he put GF is because he couldn't spell fiance. Now, Jimmy says does, but Jimmy, I thought for sure you call it doe. I thought I saw earlier you said doe. Let's see. Floyd said, I live close to Fort Knox and pass by areas a lot. Last 2 days been seeing a lot in fields. I just want to get 2 from there, Floyd, is all I want. I want to get 1 doe and 1 buck. Let's see. Steve says does. James says does. Doug says does. So mostly does, but some people just say doe. Like some people say bear. I'm hunting black bear this weekend. But bears. And I've even said that. Elk. What's elk? Elk is a hard one. Elk or elks? Elks don't sound right.
No, I say elk.
I say elk too.
Regardless, hey, I do not care ever what the correct pronunciation is. It's whatever sounds right to me. That's all I care about. I do not care if it sounds or if it's the correct way to say it. It's whatever sounds the best. Elks does not sound right. That's hard to say. Elks.
Yeah, I think it's elk. It's elk. Kyle says elk, not elks. There you go.
Alan said he had bad EHD in his area that got a lot of his does. That really stinks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it. They're in a 2-year drought, he said. I heard of elk. Yeah, it's elk for sure. Hey, did you see Kentucky Fish and Wildlife got awarded, I don't know what it was, special award for the elk project, which, of course, brought everyone out of the woodwork. Some people saying, here's what's funny about elk. It is elk for sure. Here's what's funny about elk. You start talking about the elk in Kentucky. First of all, it is the most successful elk restoration project in the eastern United States. Nothing is even close to it. All right. But when you start talking about it, you bring a lot of people out with varying opinions. Some people think it's great. Some people say, you know what? We used to have a lot of elk. We don't have any left. Some people say, we hate the elk. We never wanted the elk. We hope they all die. Get them out of here. And I'm just like, man, no, everyone has to find something. I mean, to say like Kentucky has the greatest elk herd east of the Mississippi, and then there's people in eastern Kentucky that don't even want them. That's crazy to me. But they're a nuisance. What are they doing? What are they getting into? I understand black bears. I got something in my eyes kill me. I understand black bears. I don't understand not wanting elk. They're incredible. Anyway, I just want to say that.
It's at the top of my bucket list just to kill an elk. I don't see how you can.
Particularly a Kentucky elk or just an elk in general?
Definitely. I mean, I'm from Eastern Kentucky. I want to kill an Eastern Kentucky bull is what I'd love to do.
Mark said he's going to help someone with someone with a cow tag next weekend. There's still plenty of elk there, just smarter. This person says, hey, when are you going to talk hunting? Y'all over the board tonight. Hey, we talked bucks, does, elk. I mean, what else you want to hunt, pal?
Hey,
squirrels. We talked squirrels. We talked late sea. I mean, what do you want to hunt?
Josh Teeter actually asked if we rabbit hunted, so that's another topic.
There you go. We didn't talk rabbit hunting. I'm supposed to be going rabbit hunting with a friend.
Hey, I do have a question for you, John.
Yeah.
So a while back, I was texting. It was either in a group chat or to you or something, and I was typing out does, and I was putting DOE''S, and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Carroll. Jimmy Carroll topped it out that way. So I'm curious.
I think it's
was you just trying to make me feel stupid, or is that not the way you spell it?
No apostrophe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that lesson later. But I think that's just an autocorrect thing.
Okay.
Rabbits, coyotes, coons, trapping. Sure.
We've gotten 2 raccoons so far this year.
You have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. A good start. I've got a goal of at least 15 raccoons and whatever else we may catch this winter. I'm looking forward to it though.
Mark's been catching some coyotes.
Good.
Mike, how many dog-proof traps do you have set?
I think I have 4. Well, my Uncle Darren has 4 out at his place. And then he gave somebody permission to come down and set some footholds in the ground. I think they've got a couple. I guess that person's got a couple out. So we got a few different type of traps out, hoping we catch some raccoons and coyotes. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you?
I've got to get out on my. I'm gonna order some dog proofs that have some of the. I have the biggest. I don't know what you call it. I'm gonna call it a herd because I want to. I have the biggest herd of the fattest raccoons I've ever seen in my life in my corn. I cannot, dude. There's so like I bet there's 8 to 10 of them at once, just going to town on my corn. So
what is a group of raccoons called? I don't know.
Great question. A group.
A group. Jimmy says, "Merry Christmas, family. Hope your weekend is full of love and joy. Can't wait to get back at it Friday morning. Be safe." Jim, have a good night, brother.
Merry Christmas, Jimmy.
Hopefully, but next time we get on here, which will be January the 2nd, you'll have a deer on the ground and we can show pictures off, brother. We appreciate you.
Good luck, Jimmy.
We love you, Jimmy.
Why is it going to be the last live? Well, we're just taking next week off, Joe. I'll be out of town. Mike and Josh, I'm sure, will be putting toys together. It's the 26th, so we're just taking it off, and then we'll be back the following. So we're just taking 1 week off is all it is. I say the last live of the year. I mean, it's literally there's only one more Tuesday left in 2023. So
yeah.
But we'll be back January 2nd, Joe. We hope that you're here with us. A posse. Yeah, that could be a posse of raccoons.
I'm gonna look it up now.
Does it? So for the people who trap raccoons, Mike, this includes you. This includes people like Mark Lilly, and he's probably maybe the one that answer this. A gang of raccoons. Alan, yeah. Do any of you eat them? Do any of you try to make something with them, or do you just kill them?
I personally have not, and I'm very green in trapping still, so I'm still kind of getting my feet wet, and I think we caught 5 or 6 raccoons, a couple skunks and possums last year, and
hey, Mike, tell everybody about that skunk you caught.
Yeah, hey, shoot him in the lungs. Shoot him in the lungs with that 22 or whatever type of dispatching firearm you're going to be using. Shoot him in the lungs, because if you don't, it's gonna make a bad.
Tell everybody what happened. Tell everybody what happened to you.
Well, we caught one in a trap last year, and I ended up, I stood really far away from it, so I was, I had a 22 with me, and I shot it in the head to expire it quickly, and it sprayed. So I didn't get directly sprayed, but the entire area had that aroma to it. So naturally, it got on my clothes. I had to throw my clothes away. But learn the hard way.
Yeah. So I guess if you trap a skunk. Oh, dude, I remember I was showing a house, and Mike sent us a picture of a skunk, and then he was like, "Oh, dude, I had to throw all my clothes away, this, that." I was dying laughing. I was laughing so hard I got lost in the subdivision. I had to pull my address up to get out.
Because I knew how mad Mike, dude, I could already imagine how upset you were that you got sprayed.
I was not happy. Yeah, what I didn't anticipate though, man, is I wasn't near the skunk, but because it being in the air, my clothes, like it wasn't on my skin, it wasn't on my face or anything, but my clothes and everything just sucked that smell right into the fabric, even though I didn't get sprayed. So literally I had to get rid of everything. Yeah. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny we're talking about that. I set a trap the other day, and it was that same trap that I caught the skunk in, and it had sprayed after it got trapped too. So, but when I grabbed it and I set the trap with my hands, I just pinched that and put the little pin on there. Man, my hands actually smelled a little bit like skunk. So that thing still smells like skunk a little bit.
Wow.
That trap.
So 2 things: if you trap a skunk, shoot it in the lung, double lung it, and play the wind. You want it downwind from it. Yeah, downwind. Yeah. So Rodney Rogers, this is a good thing. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Rodney Rogers was told by a resident in Eastern Kentucky that Fish and Wildlife hauled elk off by trailer loads for 2 years because they traded some for grouse and quail, and we had to give the state that loaned us some back that we owned them. So a couple things. One, the only reason Kentucky has elk is because other states gave us elk. Over 1,000 elk were given to Kentucky by other states. That's number one. Number two, Kentucky has traded elk for other species of animals like grouse and quail. Now, you hear people say that they've hauled off hundreds of elk. The number of elk that have been traded, I don't have the number. Kyle Sands may be able to give us more of an accurate number. But the amount of elk that have been hauled off, that number is greatly exaggerated. Greatly exaggerated. I will say that they took like 250 elk, moved them to Bell County to what's going to be like the Daniel Boone Center. That was Governor Matt Bevin did that. And, everyone got mad at teachers because we voted Matt Bevin out, and now we have Beshear. But Matt Bevin was terrible with Fish and Wildlife. He was a horrible, I don't care what he did with anything else. I can't even tell you. But when it came to Fish and Wildlife, Matt Bevin was a terrible governor. He wanted to put all of his people in there, do things his way, and cause a lot of problems. Now, I'm not saying Governor Beshear's been great with Fish and Wildlife. He's done his fair share of things too, a lot of them. But that was Matt Bevin moving all those elk over to Bell County. Now, Fish and Wildlife last year went and got some of those elk and took them down to Macquarie County, I believe. And they've got a good little herd going there, and you're not going to be able to hunt there for quite a while and let that herd grow. So I don't have the number of elk that we have traded for other species, but I know it's not been nearly as many as what people have said. So I think that's about it. So if you want to know those numbers, though, I'm sure you can figure it out. Mike, check your PMs, he says. Rob says, I have been using dog proof for traps for raccoons for the last 2 years, learning a lot, but definitely helps turkeys. Coyote bait smells horrible. Don't get it on you. Scott said he shot his skunk in the lungs. It leaked a little. Josh, you going to start doing some trapping on your place?
I am, yeah, dude. I'm going to order some dog proofs because I've got to get rid of some of these raccoons that are on the property. And also, the neighbor, they have horses, and apparently, I don't know all the details on it, but possums carry a certain disease that is like life-threatening to horses, and they do not want possums on their property whatsoever. So I'm going to put some dog proofs on their property as well, and try to get some of the the possums that are over there are on mine too. The same with raccoons because I hunt both places, so I'm definitely going to get rid of as many raccoons and possums that I can. And I mean, all that's going to do is help the turkey population because there's actually quite a few turkeys on the property as well.
Cat food, marshmallows, and a little bit of syrup, Josh. That'll do it.
That's the
so,
plan.
Bub, the place in Bell County that the elk were moved to, no, you cannot hunt that area. It's private land. It's owned by the people who are running that tourism attraction. It's like the Daniel Boone Center. It's called something like that. Appalachian Center, Daniel Boone Appalachian Center. We call it, if you're from Harlan or Bell County, you call it the Bridge to Nowhere is what it is. However, those elk don't know that they're supposed to stay there for tourism attractions. So they have been seen all over the place. Boone Ridge, there you go. Thanks, Kyle. Kyle, do you know about how many elk have been traded to other states? Do you know that? Boone Ridge. But those elk don't know. They're not fenced in. They don't know they're supposed to stay there for tourists coming to Boone Ridge. That project has been going on for years. I never thought it was going to come to fruition. I never thought because they have been planning to put all kinds of things over there, Bridge to Nowhere. None of it ever worked out. But the latest updates, it does look like they're indeed going to have it up and running. So, but those elk have been moved. They've been moving. There's a big field there on 987 right before you get to 119. And I know they stay there because so many people have seen them there. So they can be hunted. But you just can't hunt on their property.
I've hunted. This was years ago. I was 16, 17. I've hunted and fished over at across the Bridge to Nowhere, man. You can definitely get lost out there if you don't know where you're going.
Well, now they have security guards and stuff, so you can't.
Yeah, you can't hunt it now. But dude, there was some ponds back there, and there was a guy right on Verrilli Curve that sold shiners. And dude, we would get those shiners and just cast them out there with the bobber. Dude, we would catch like 5-pound largemouth every single time. They were huge.
So speaking of Bell County, I saw today where we have a new WMA, the Cumberland Forest WMA. It's in Bell County, maybe a little bit in Harlan County. I'm not sure.
Wow.
This is the Nature Conservancy in Kentucky, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation announced the largest conservation easement in Kentucky history. 55,000 acres, Cumberland Forest Wildlife Management Area in Bell, Knox, and Leslie counties.
Let's go.
So some of the property was formerly known as CF Italia WMA. You've probably seen that on maps if you've been over that way. Mike, you and I actually hunted some of that a couple years ago during bear season.
Yep.
Here's what Rich Storm said, Fish and Wildlife. Acquisition of the Cumberland Forest WMA is a tremendous victory for both wildlife and conservation and public access.
Yeah.
It demonstrates how we can accomplish so much more working together than we can as individual organizations. I want to thank Kentucky General Assembly. So different organizations gave money. The Kentucky General Assembly gave $3.8 million. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife was able to use $12 million from federal funds of the Pittman-Robertson Wildlife Restoration Act, and Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation had a grant of $650,000. So
that's awesome.
Lots of public land. Now, here's what I like about it. Lots of public land. That should be, in my mind, one of the top priorities for Fish and Wildlife should be public access. We have a lot in Kentucky, but we don't have a lot, if that makes sense. You have plenty. If you want to hunt public land in Kentucky, if you want to hunt public land in Kentucky, you can find places to hunt. But as far as percentages go, we're still on the low end compared to a lot of states, and I think we need more. 55,000 acres, that's a heck of a lot of land.
What did you say it was?
Bell, Knox, and Leslie.
It
immediately becomes our largest WMA, right? It is a place where you can hunt deer, turkey, black bears, and elk. You can hunt all four of those there. Now, obviously, elk is not something you can hunt unless you have one of the tags,
right?
And so I think it's a great opportunity, and might be somewhere we go to black bear hunt next year, Mike.
That's exciting to me because I'm ready to go.
Is it old? Is it old coal mines, or is it? Did I miss that part? Was it previously coal mines turned into
a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Logging, coal mines, things like that, yeah. So if you're wondering about Kentucky elk, Missouri, Virginia, Wisconsin, I don't know the exact number, happened over a period of 6 and 7 years, about 300 animals. So if you say we have, 10,000 elk, I think at one time we have, 15,000 elk, and then it's probably down, they think 8 to 10,000 elk. So over a period of 6 to 7 years, we gave away about 300 elk. If you compare that to the 1,300 that we got to start the program, I personally don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. Especially for, here's what people forget. Fish and Wildlife are not only in charge of deer, turkey, elk, things like that. I mean, they're also in charge of fish. They're also in charge of reptiles, right? I mean, birds, habitat. So they it's across the board. It's not just what we like to.
Yeah, big, little, and small, and frankly, those elk were shared with us. So I mean, it's paying it forward. We have to do, some of those things to help pay it forward, and then if also we're trading and benefiting in other ways, we got to do what we got to do.
I see it as a win, man. If outdoors or if Fish and Wildlife from every state is working together and helping one another, I don't see any issue with it whatsoever, man. I think that's great.
I'm with Bub here. I think everyone's here. You can never have enough public land. Public land is the most important part of the future in hunting. 1,000% agree. In 2023, going into 2024, when people, large corporations, people like Bill Gates, China, are buying up huge plots of land in the United States, I think it's very important that we keep public access. Kyle Sam says non-game. I'm not sure what you were referring to there. You'll have to follow up.
Potentially maybe you meant non-game, like non-game animals.
Oh, non-game. Yeah, non-game. Mike's like the translator. When I don't understand, Mike's like, maybe non-game animals. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, non-game animals, they're also in charge of that. I'm pretty sure we got walleye. We get walleye from Michigan. I don't know. Auto corrected me. Yeah, that's how it goes. Missouri elk has a lot of issues. Brainworm, mountain lions killed a few now. We are stuck at 250. Duck hunting in the morning. Good night. Good night to you, duck hunter.
There we go. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Something I need to do because I like duck meat. It's awesome.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, Josh, you're out there. You need to go.
Ain't had time. Ain't had time.
Yeah.
There's
So,
all
yeah, I
kinds of
wanted to make
stuff
sure
all
we
good.
talked about the 55,000 acres. I think, if I read it correctly, I think it's you can access it now. If you're on Onyx, it's not going to be called Cumberland Forest WMA. It's going to be CF Ataya, CF Cumberland Forest. And then I'm sure that's been added to. So, and this has been going on for like 2 years trying to get this done. So I'm glad
That's exciting, man. That's so cool. I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah. And I can promise you there are big bucks there. There's turkey there. I don't know about the elk, but there are black bears there too. So it's a good opportunity for hunters. Bub says, I can get behind bringing the grouse population back to pair up to par in Eastern Kentucky. I knew that one. Places like Clay WMA, they've been working really hard to get grouse and quail and stuff like that back. Game birds, I guess you would call it. Always wonder why southeastern states don't try to get subspecies of wild turkey. I don't know. I'm sure it's just habitat. Joe Carter said, I missed you guys again. Here's a good thing, Joe. We're still here. And when we get off here, you just go back and start it all over, brother.
You watch it.
That's right.
It's always better live and in person, though, because you can interact, right?
Yeah.
So if we're not here live, we can't say, hey, Joe, glad you're here, brother. But, Joe, we are. Christmas giveaway. Here's what I think, Josh. Here's what I'm going to try to put together. We're at 79,000. Yeah, it does sound like a good place for deer and turkey camp, Gary.
It does.
Be closer for you, too. We're at right at, Josh, hold on. Let me look. How many followers do we have? Somebody go look real quick.
I got you.
Not you.
So that's a good question, Bob. Daniel Boone, how big is that again?
Daniel Boone's about 800,000 acres.
I was going to say so it is then that's where the National Forest /
But Daniel Boone's not a WMA. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so that's where the difference is. It's not a national forest.
Yeah, Daniel Boone is a national forest. So Daniel Boone is definitely our largest public land area. But as far as WMA goes,
this new place will be the biggest.
Yeah. So Fish and Wildlife actually may do some work on a WMA. And they could also do work on Daniel Boone, but that's a national forest. So
yeah.
Hey, someone in the comments, go to our page and see how many followers we have. Because when we're trying to get to 80,000, then once we get to 80,000, I'm going to try to put together a massive giveaway, like a huge giveaway that you see other big pages do to get to 100,000. So that's the goal. 100,000 by spring turkey. Once January 1st gets here, that's going to be the countdown to 100K by April 15th or something. Basically.
Yeah, that's about around that. It's probably
78,000. I think we have. So you guys didn't click on it. Like we're like a few people away from 79,000.
Andy, the WMA that's the largest right now, I believe, is Peabody, which is around 44,000. I think, right?
Yep, it is 44.
Yeah. Until this new one, which is 55.
Just so yeah. So that's 99,000 acres right there.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. When we have lost in the hunting community, we've lost the ability, and not totally lost. It's not gone, but the days of going to an elderly farmer's door and asking if you can hunt his property that's never been hunted before.
Yeah.
It's pretty much gone. You know, you can still run
spend
across
a lot
that.
of money, man.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, unless now people. It's nowadays people have gotten to. now you have to offer amount of money to hunt those properties. Whereas used to, you could just go to that farmer, ask permission, or just say, hey, in exchange for helping you with your tobacco fields, can we hunt? And usually, it's just like, yeah, hey man, in one case, we had in Owen County when we first started hunting there in the 70s, my family, not myself, but we started hunting there, not our family farm or anything. It's just we stumbled on it, and my grandpa had talked to the farmer, and the farmer asked, he said, hey, help us out with this. And my grandpa said, absolutely, let's get after it. And then he said, the first thing I'd like you all to do is shoot does, because they kind of hurt my fences. I've got cattle here. If you just make sure you're taking enough does. Absolutely, yes sir. Yeah. And we just did it.
Or somebody tell me that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
hey man, will you come and kill all the does you can on my farm? Promise?
Say no more. Say no more.
So Josh Sweet says, I missed it. Where's the new WMA? Bell County, Knox County, and Leslie County, down in my neck of the woods, Josh. And Josh is a hunter. He's like us. He loves it. And Josh, you would love to go down there to Eastern Kentucky with us.
Yeah, it's fun.
Josh is also my buddy who, after deer season, holds like a after deer season get together where we eat wild game, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. So I need to go kill a deer. To it.
I was gonna say, kind of to add on, Mike. What you're saying about being able to hunt private land. Me being a new landowner, just recently, dude, I honestly. Just with the world we live in today, man, it would be really hard for me to allow anyone that I didn't directly know come onto the property. Like, I get it now. Like, I really do. Like, it's changed.
He's not even invited me. He's not even invited us, Mike.
Hey, listen, Josh, it's changed. I can tell. I've been watching like your excitement level. It's changed you this year. The fact that you've had a place to go, it's just different. You're going to the same place, and you're getting, it. You're starting to understand where the deer are coming from. What are they doing every day? Because you've got that surveillance. You've got that. You've hunted it over and over and over again. So that excitement builds because you're starting to understand it. It's really cool.
I love it, man. It's a blessing. It really is. It really is. So I get it. If people don't let people hunt their private land, I mean, if I had a good friend wants to, John's lying because he's mentioned him and Ellis coming down and hunting.
I said me and Mike. You've not invited me and Mike.
Because Mike has like 4 farms he hunts, John. And Mike likes hunting his areas. I know what his answer is going to be. No, I'm hunting my place.
Oh. It's just nice to get an invite, right, Mike?
It would be nice.
Look,
but
have
also,
you seen the bucks on Mike's property?
You have a pocket of nice deer there, Josh.
I'll just say,
see, he's been waiting on the invite.
64 acres ain't that big when it's one guy, multiple guys, So.
Well, I think the difference, what you're saying, Josh, is you wouldn't let just anybody come hunt on yours. I think Mike's talking about a lot of people, like around here. I don't think the farms that I live near, I don't think the owners hunt those. I don't think they're hunted by anyone.
Right.
I mean, deer just stand out in there. There's zero pressure. They just stand out there all day, throughout the day.
Hell, would you invite him? You hear the way he talks to me every time we're on here. Why would I invite him?
Let's see. Bub said, I don't need you to invite anyway. I get invited all the time. Bub says, I invited you to my place before your brother did, John. That's true.
Hey.
That's true. Hey, listen, me and Bub are going to do big things when he's a commissioner. What's the District 7? Future District 7 Commissioner Bub Tackett. We got big things in store for Eastern Kentucky, don't we, Bub? Acres are different in Eastern Kentucky. Yeah, a lot of the acres are sideways. They're not flat like they are here in Western Kentucky. They're vertical. So, yeah.
Dude, that's what makes it, and I was thinking about this earlier too. Obviously the deer population in Western Kentucky is better than it is in Eastern Kentucky, but there's so many opportunities in Eastern Kentucky to kill good bucks and turkey.
It's just hard.
It's just hard. You can't hunt once a month and expect to kill a deer. You really have to put the time in when you're hunting in those mountains because it's difficult. It really is. And people that kill in Eastern Kentucky, dude, like I killed that 8-pointer, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. Dude, that was by far my favorite hunt. And honestly, I got lucky. But dude, I love killing deer in the mountains. It's so much fun. But dude, it's hard. It is. It's very difficult.
Floyd wants to know when we do this giveaway to $100K giveaway. Are we going to throw in a free bear hunt? Floyd, you can go hunt with us anytime.
Yeah. Hey, we we didn't end up doing it this past winter,
Didn't work out this
December, but didn't work out. But we've pretty much gone for the last 2 years. Besides this one, we've gone to had bear camps, and it's only $30. We just get together and we split up, and John and you and I have stayed together, but. We can pretty much go to an area and kind of spread out and go to different spots. So yeah, it's a good opportunity.
And I can't tell you when somebody in our bear camp is going to kill a bear, but they're going to.
It's going to happen eventually.
It's going to happen. I've been 3 years in a row. I feel like this year was tough, very tough during archery. Oh man, I hate we didn't go during rifle, but feel like y'all learn more and get closer every year. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, gosh, if it's
me,
you're not going to hear me shut up about it. You're not going to hear me shut up about it. So, yeah. Daniel has 350 acres private land to hunt. I love the hills of southeastern Ohio. Corey says turkey here are hurting. Corey, where is here? Where are you at? I know a lot of places in Eastern Kentucky where turkeys aren't hurting. But where you are, Corey, maybe they are. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of turkeys killed in Eastern Kentucky. Mike's got him a big triple bird. Oh, Corey said Knott County.
That's actually where I killed a double bearded, my first double bearded bird.
We were covered up. We were covered up in Knott County when we went, and
gosh, that was fun, dude.
Mike went and killed him a big triple beard, and then the year after that, his cousin killed one, and we were But now I don't know what it was like 10 years ago. Maybe now, we've been out to Eastern Kentucky turkey hunting the last few years, and they've been everywhere, but. Maybe he said, then stay away.
Stay away. I get it.
No, that was Mike's first trip to Eastern Kentucky. Me and Josh are from Eastern Kentucky, but that was Mike's first one.
It was, yeah. That was my first trip out to Knott County. It was my first trip out to Eastern Kentucky, and ended up getting that bird down. He wouldn't come up to me, so I had to find my way down to him. That was a lot of fun, dude. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Bub said he's killed a lot of Knott County turkeys, so you gonna have Corey. Maybe you and Bub can team up. I just talked to Bub too about our turkey camp. I think we might do turkey camp again out there at Cave Run, Daniel Boone National Forest. Josh, are you committing to going to that?
Way too far out for any commitment at this moment.
That's a no.
I have a situation that you are aware about and nobody else is. So it's according. It's still according. We'll see.
You're saying a lot. We'll see.
So
You're saying a lot. Josh is having a sex.
Bub did say though. He said
Josh is transitioning.
What?
Your situation. You're transitioning.
It's not funny.
Yeah. I mean, you want to say what it really is?
It's not funny. It's really not. Anyway,
I've already checked my days off. I'm ready to go. So yeah, I think Mike, did you like having it out there at Cave Run?
Yeah, had a blast. That was a lot of fun. We were in birds. We were in birds on that trip too. We just didn't get it done.
So Joe showed up, I think, and Bub was there. Corey Hall can show up. Caleb will be there, I'm sure. It'll be fun. Do turkeys use the same land during fall and spring? I always run. That's a good question. Always run into them during muzzleloader. So turkeys, they stay in relatively the same spot all year, Mike? I don't know.
Yes and no. They kind of bounce around a little bit. Their flocks kind of shift. But they typically get bigger groups, a lot bigger groups during the wintertime, and then obviously disperse a little bit when the springtime rolls around. But I mean, and this is just my personal experience with private land. We tend to see birds all year long. So, yes and no. Yeah. We've seen a ton of turkeys this year on our place.
Let's see. Floyd said if he goes bear hunt with us, he'd run a camera. Floyd, you're going to be running a lot. You can run that camera too. We walk a lot.
Yeah.
That's the key. You got to put the miles in to try to find one.
Yeah.
So, yes to Cave Run. I think we'll do it. What is the first? Someone look up when, not you, Mike, somebody in the comments, look up when turkey season is for Kentucky. You probably just have to go.
Those dates probably aren't released yet.
Yeah, but you can get a good estimate, third, maybe second or third. I think it's a Saturday closest to the 15th, April 15th. Joe said he had Mike on multiple birds last year.
We were close.
Alan's got some turkey research there. 75% of nests failed due to predation. Largest quail study in Missouri. 2 out of 459 nests, 286 failed. Primary cause, predation.
That's good info.
April 13th. There you go. So April 13th, Twin Knobs Campground. Excuse me. Cave Run Lake, Daniel Boone National Forest. We're having public land turkey camp. We just scheduled that right now, so go ahead and put it in your calendar. Let's see. Any word on CWD trail cams on public? Sorry, getting late on here. Yeah, it is. Late getting on here. It is getting late on here too. Public land trail cams. That's something they'll bring up. I don't think that has a chance of passing. And as we get closer to that, we're going to make sure that everyone that's interested reaches out and lets their commissioner know to vote no on that. CWD, we're just waiting on more testing to be done, Andy. I think you're going to see them try to encourage more deer to be killed for not to eliminate CWD, but to get more testing. And I'm very, very encouraged, very optimistic that we might not see another case. That might be the lone case that we see out of those tests. And if we do see others, I think it'll be a very small number.
Andy, if you want to know a little bit more about that, just and what goes into that, Kyle Sams joined us. Kyle was with the department as a biologist, a deer in the past as his job, and he joined us on our last Tuesday night live. If you want to jump back in, he talked a lot about it, and we learned a ton. So I definitely highly recommend you listen to that show. It was really good.
And I should have said one thing that they're waiting on from that, Andy, is they're doing genetics testing on that buck to see if they can trace it to Illinois, Missouri, or Tennessee. And if that's the case, that's great news. I'm going to guess they can trace it to Illinois. Let's see. Bub says if I'm a commissioner at the time, I'll be a no. Talking about the trail cams. Josh left. Josh got mad. He left.
Must have had to go.
He usually texts and says, "Hey, I got to go."
Or if he accidentally hit a button.
Was the white deer poached that everyone's calling a pet? We don't know. We don't know if the piebald deer was poached. We know that there was an arraignment, and the charges were not dropped. I was told by someone close to him. Yeah, he just texted. I was told by someone close to the situation that they thought the charges would be dropped, but then they had the arraignment and the charges were not dropped. And now there's a pretrial date for February the 15th. Okay. And so we'll see. We'll go from there. But anyway, listen, guys, we appreciate you. If you've been here, I mean, some of you guys have been here for 2 years, almost 3 years. So we've been doing this. And so we're wrapping up our third year, April. When we are at Turkey Camp on April 13th, that will make 4 years that we've had this thing going. And if we can get to 100,000 followers in 4 years, I think that's a great accomplishment. And it's not because me or Mike or Josh or John or anybody like that. It's because of you guys. So I do want to ask you to do one thing for us, and I want to show you on my phone here. If you'll go to our page, right? If you'll go to our page, and if you look, there's those 3 little dots right there. Those 3 little dots. If you'll click on it, and down there at the bottom, it says invite friends. If you will click on those 3 little dots on our page, and you'll click on that invite friends, and you'll invite your friends to like our page, that's going to help us a lot. Some of you may have 200 or 300 friends. Some of you might have 5,000 friends. I think I have 9,000, right? So, and when you do that, your friends will pop up, and you can just select all and invite them. So if you could do that for us, that'd be a great Christmas gift. And we're going into the new year, hoping to have 80,000 by then. And we'll go into the new year with a big giveaway to get to 100K. And then after that, hopefully we can do more things. So there you go. But listen, Merry Christmas. We appreciate you guys. Mike, I appreciate you and everything you do for us. And and you guys have a good night. We hope you have a good, and we'll see you next year. That's fun.
Yeah.
Joke. We'll see you next year.
Appreciate you, man. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Appreciate you all. This has been a wonderful community of hunters and friends that just get together and chat about different topics, and we cut up and have fun, and just hope to continue to do that. It's been a blast. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a good Christmas and have a good New Year, and we'll see y'all soon.
Absolutely. Bub, I have 9,000 because they're followers. 9,000 followers on my personal page. I think you got to change it to professional mode. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. God bless you guys. We'll see you later.